What's up, A to Z Sports Titan Game Day Live. We're live from the rooftop at Acme Feed and Seed as the sleepy Nashville potential rainy day, Sunday after Thanksgiving matchup between, 4 total wins, Jack, here. The Carolina Panthers in town, the Tennessee Titans getting set to have a game that they should be able to win. The second time this season the Titans have been favored in a game, so we're going to have our pregame show here presented by Golf Nashville. I'm Austin Stanley. This is Jack Gentry of the Tighten Up Podcast, live here at the rooftop at Acme Feed and Seed on the corner of First and Broadway. Shout out to our friends Spirited Hive and Ranch Water. $1 off all of their canned drinks throughout the entire season for home games this season. So we'll get through this. But Jack, tell the people what they got to do. Streaming here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch across the A to Z platforms. Jack, welcome in. Going to have a day here. The Titans are undefeated with us at Acme, right?
That's right. Happy to be back at home, which is for us Acme. But while you guys are trickling in, make sure if you're watching on Facebook, share the show to your Titans Facebook groups. I know all of y'all have been active in there throughout the season. So let's grow the show. Let's grow the conversation. Bring in all your buddies from Facebook, and we'll grow the audience and have a great show today. If you're watching on YouTube, tap that bell icon at the top of your screen. Turn your notifications on so you don't miss an update or a video when A to Z Sports posts. It can be Titans, Vols, whatever's going on in Nashville. A to Z Sports has you covered. Finally, if you're watching on Twitch, text that Twitch link to your Titans text groups, text to your family text groups, text to anybody who's interested in this Titans game against the Panthers today. And there are multiple reasons to be interested in this game today. So make sure we text that link around. Let's get everybody in here, and let's talk Titans-Panthers.
Yep, let's do it. I want to thank all of our great partners here for our Titan Game Day Live. Shout out Golf Nashville, the home of indoor golf in Middle Tennessee, the Mint Gaming Hall. Hopefully a bingo can be hit today. We'll talk about the Mint Gaming Hall a little bit later. BetMGM, the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry, Chimney for all your chimney needs, Adventure Science Center, explore and discover with them, and also Jarrett HVAC and Plumbing, as Jack is getting his headphones set up here, as trying to get, now you're getting all stuff all tangled.
Small speed bump.
A small speed bump on a season where the Titans have had a ton of speed bumps in the offensive line, a lot of back and forth with losing, turnovers, can't run the football, can't protect the quarterback, can't stop the pass at times, can't rush the passer at times. But Jack, the Titans have an opportunity to do all those things well today because the Panthers also do all of those things very poorly, and they're in town with the Panthers at 1 win on the season. The Titans have lost 3 in a row after Will Levis, his great debut 4 weeks ago here at Nissan Stadium. So this is a big opportunity for a notch in Will Levis's belt to go the right way in his young career.
Yeah, it's been kind of a Murphy's Law season for the Titans where anything that can go wrong will go wrong. But you look over at the Panthers and they're saying, hey, buddy, you don't know how bad I got it. You don't know how bad we've got it over here. They're struggling. They've only won 1 game. Both teams with quarterbacks that they're hopeful in. Will Levis has shown a little bit. Bryce Young, still waiting to see that real breakout game from him on the year. He's only thrown multiple touchdowns in just 1 game this year. So we'll see if the Titans secondary can keep him in check. But like you said, these are teams with similar disadvantages. So being at home, a place where the Titans have had success this year, I'm feeling good. I shouldn't feel good ever with this Titans team, but I'm feeling good today, Austin.
Well, we were just talking before we went live last week in the pregame show. You went through this entire WWE-style buildup towards Derrick Henry having a huge day in Duval County. It didn't happen.
Oh,
Do you have anything planned and scripted today for a big buildup, Jack, against a team that it could actually happen?
No, no WWE style intro for me today. I think I learned my lesson last week, and the chat antagonized me throughout the game as my prediction for Derrick Henry to rush over 100 yards did not come true. But there are a lot of places where the Titans can look to attack today on offense and on defense. And we'll get to my X factor here in due time. But I do think that the Titans are on track to do something that they haven't done in about 2 months. That's a tease. That's a little X Factor tease right there.
I have no idea. So let's talk about this here live. Make sure you like the show if you're watching on Facebook, on YouTube. Hit the thumbs up button. That makes the show go out to a lot more people for us to have a great conversation here on our X-Golf we'll get to the X Factor later on, but the X-Golf Nashville pregame show. But Jack, I'm just going to ask this kind of casual. I'm just going to throw this out there. You guys can answer if you want on a 1 through 10 scale. But how much do you actually want the Titans to win this game? Because I saw a chat early once we went live. Oh, hey, top 3 pick game, right? The Panthers don't have a first round pick. They traded that to the Bears. The Bears are huge Titans fans today to hopefully have that number 1 overall pick from the Carolina Panthers. The Tennessee Titans are currently picking 6th right now in the draft order. If they continue to lose, that thing could creep up a little bit. Titans don't need a quarterback as of right now. And so maybe there's opportunity. The higher that pick goes, the more flexibility and creativity you can have off of some other team who needs a quarterback to get a lot of, because how did John Robinson, as you guys answer here on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch, when John Robinson took over as GM, he traded away the number 1 overall pick, got a boatload of picks, the King's ransom, and they picked up a lot of cornerstone pieces of the turnaround. Yeah. Rain Carthon, in a similar situation, could have that. So on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you want the Titans actually win this game today?
Well, let's go through it.
If you want to go to the chat,
we'll start in the chat, and then I'll give you my answer. How about this? Andre Bunting kicks us off on Facebook with a big old 0. Titans Kyle's at a 1. He doesn't really want him to win either. Jake Hughes is indifferent. He's on a 5. You can't be hurt today if you're at a 5, Jake Hughes. Good strategy. Kendall wants them to win. Kendall over on Facebook's at a full 10. Dad to the Bone is at a 1. Nuclear at a 0. Chris on Facebook at a 10. Travis 2. Guy 3. Amar 3. Amar 0. Stephen King -1. KKC is at a 7. Tipsy's at a 10. Andrew's at a 0. Jason at a 5. He's straight up indifferent. Major Keys says 1. Jody 10. Jabu 3. Andre Bunting coming back in. He changes his mind. He's at a -100. Rooney says 10. Something has to go right this season, Austin. Yep. I'll stop it there.
Okay. Where are you at, Jack?
I'm at a 10 as well. I really want.
You want a win.
I really
You're
want.
Desperate for it.
At this point, it's a culture thing, right?
Okay.
You don't lose to the bottom feeders like this. You do not lose at home to a 1-win Carolina Panthers team. That means something is wrong internally with this culture. They can't win anymore. They can't figure out how to beat up on the bad teams. Today's a day where you have to win the game. I understand Titans fans want the best draft pick possible, but I've got news for you. If you're picking in the top 3, nobody's taking a left tackle, which is what the Titans are going to end up taking in the first round anyways, most likely. So you can win this game, and this is one of unless they're favored next week against the Colts at home.
It could be.
They could be. It'd be a short number if they were.
Yeah.
But this could be the last time the Titans are favored in a football game. At the end of the day, I want to see Will Levis have a Falcons-like performance today. You've got a defense which you can exploit. I want to see Will Levis take that next step. He's taken a beating over the last few weeks.
Yeah.
And he could very well be in for another one today as the Titans' offensive line continues to shuffle. I want the Titans to win this football game. I don't think that no matter what happens, Carolina will find a way to win 3 games this year. So I'm not worried about that draft pick. I'm at a full 10. I really want the Titans to beat the Panthers today.
Okay. I'm glad you do. I think I do too. I think Nashville is hungover or passed out or still trying to get up off the couch and button their pants after just sitting unbuttoned and belly out the last 3 days,
the
right?
Tryptophan hangover.
Right. When we came down here to downtown this morning, it's the sleepiest I've seen it for a Titans game in a long time. I think if they lose against the Carolina Panthers, yes, will there be some hidden benefits down the road of getting a better draft pick? Everybody's going to scream Marvin Harrison Jr. this, trade the pick back that, all that. I don't care. I think this organization needs a victory. Because at this point, I agree with you. Will Levis needs good experience and good experiences. He needs positive. He needs to see the ball go through the hoop. And beating the Panthers could be one of those type gimme layup jumper shots that does go down to build on, because you truly do have an opportunity to build and set the foundation of this organization's window. If Will Levis can have positive experiences, as many as possible this season, use your cap space to go build around it, the draft picks. Now you can truly understand how to win a football game, how to close out tight games, how to beat somebody you're supposed to beat. And that just is good down the line. So you say 10 out of 10 on how much you want the Titans to beat the Panthers, but you're ultimate Titans fan, Tighten Up podcast, all that, right? I'm not like that for this, right? I think it's a 7.5 of how much I would want them to beat the Panthers for all those reasons I just listed.
Yeah, it's interesting, too. Over the last week, we've kind of gotten some clarity on Mike Vrabel's status. Diana Rossini had a report. He's going to be here for a little while.
Yep.
He's not going anywhere, even if they lose today. I think that's good. That brings some stability to that locker room,
No doubt.
which has been topsy-turvy all season long with all the different players coming into all these different roles. So having some stability on the Mike Vrabel front maybe gets these players to button it up a little bit this week. Make your layups. The good teams make their layups by beating the Panthers. And, hopefully that turns into a little momentum or confidence. We know the Titans aren't going to win out. We don't have to worry about them tanking a top 10 draft pick. They're going to be picking in the top 10 one way or another here.
Yeah, for sure. They should be, because the schedule, as we all know it, the Texans are going to be playing that game today. Houston and Jacksonville for the AFC South lead is interesting. So you got teams on the schedule that are absolutely playing for things, minus the Colts, and no Titans fan wants to get swept by the Colts and swept by Gardner Minshew. And that's a game coming up next week. All right, Jack, you teased something for the Golf X Factor. I have no idea what that is. Like, we've had some of our preliminary conversations this morning as we carpooled down here to Acme on the rooftop at Acme Feed and Seed. Shout out to Spirited Hive and Ranch Water. Every time there's a home game here, $1 off, all and bucket specials for sure from all of those great friends with Spirited Hive and Ranch Water. So let's get this. Who is your X Factor, and what is your X Factor? Presented by our friends at X Golf. And let me tell you some more about X Golf. X Golf Nashville, they are reinventing the player experience of indoor golf. They have the most accurate indoor golf simulator on the market today. And you can get every course out there. You can go play whatever that favorite course is, that bucket list course that you got. You can play it at X Golf Nashville out here west of downtown. xgolfnashville.com is where to go to check out more information. They also have Monday Night Football leagues. We can go watch Monday Night Football and play in competitive leagues on the simulators. They also have corporate events. If you got that holiday party for your business, your company, X Golf Nashville might be the perfect place for you guys. Gift cards as well for that stocking stuffer. So check them out at xgolfnashville.com. So, Jack, X Factor, do you want to go to the chat, or do you want to let us know what your X Factor is?
While the chat's still bringing in their answers, I'll go ahead and tell you mine.
I am very fascinated by yours.
The Tennessee Titans haven't won a turnover battle since September 24th in a loss to the Cleveland Browns.
Ooh.
However, today is their chance to get back on the right track and win the turnover battle in a winning effort today. Like the Titans, the Panthers are -7 in the turnover department this year. Okay, the Panthers have a quarterback who has thrown multiple interceptions in 3 games. He's thrown multiple touchdowns in just 1 game. That came against the Detroit Lions.
He's also had multiple pick six in the same game too, right?
That's right. And when you look across the Panthers defense, they're going to be missing J.C. Horn, their first-round draft pick at corner. They're going to be missing C.J. Henderson, a big-time free agent they signed from Jacksonville. They're going to be missing Jeremy Chin, one of their starting safeties, who started 6 games this season. So I think this is a perfect opportunity for the Titans to showcase that they can protect the football while taking deep shots down the field. Yeah. And on the defensive side, put pressure on Bryce Young, make him throw quickly, make quick decisions. He's thrown 8 picks on the season. I think he throws a couple today. And the Titans secondary comes out the hero for the first time all season. My X-Golf X Factor is winning the turnover battle.
Okay.
And I think the Titans get it done today.
Which also goes along with the winning formula from Mike Vrabel with Adventure Science Center that we'll talk about in the postgame show. I think the Tennessee Titans today have an opportunity to sweep the winning formula. The winning formula, we'll talk about Adventure Science Center, adventuresci.org, is winning the turnover battle, having the most rushing yards in that game, and also having the better quarterback rating. I think the Titans could get to that. So I do like that. And I think also with Bryce Young, you mentioned the turnovers, 8 picks, pick sixes he's thrown several of. We'll get to that with some bingo board opportunities later on with Mint Gaming Hall. But he's also been sacked the 3rd most of any quarterback in the NFL this year. So a chance for Arden Key to get off the schneid, maybe some of these turnover bugs to happen, Christian Fulton to make a play if he can stay out there long enough. So I do think that's a good one.
Tipped passes at the line as well. We know Bryce Young.
When did that happen last?
It's about time to get a hand up on a pass and have a linebacker come away with an interception.
And you talk about Bryce Young's height. If you're watching on YouTube, then you've seen my disrespectful. Is it disrespectful?
It's not respectful.
It's all right. So I'm about to show it here on the broadcast. So for For the YouTube audience, you guys know what thumbnails are. For the Facebook audience, you guys don't have Facebook or thumbnails. Here is the thumbnail that I made for today's game. And I actually think this is not even the right one that I use. I think Bryce Young's bigger in this one than the one I actually used. So that's the thumbnail I use. So I'm trying to be disrespectful. I'm trying to get a little juice up in here. So Jack, I'm going to have you go to the chat and try to find some of the chat X Golf X factors, but I'm going to dive into mine. I talked about the draft opportunity and winning this game. Who cares about the draft order today? And also some other things that you can build around Will Levis having good experiences in the NFL, and winning more games is a way to have good experiences. My X Golf X factor today is Jalen Duncan at left tackle, and really Dylan Radins at right tackle. You are in audition mode. There are several players that are in audition mode this season for next year. Jalen Duncan and Dylan Radins, left tackle, right tackle today. Odds. Jack, who is the starting left tackle for the Philadelphia Eagles, who have the best offensive line in the entire league?
That'll be Jordan Mailata.
Do you know what round he was picked in?
6th round?
7th.
7th round.
So he was a rugby player that they found the 7th round. And finding your left tackle who went to the Pro Bowl in the 7th round is like the greatest find. That's like walking down the street and finding the winning lottery ticket on the ground. If I'm not saying Jalen Duncan's going to be Jordan Mailata, but if Jalen Duncan can show that he can be a reliable offensive lineman for this team, and you got him in the 6th round, then that's like walking down the street and at least hitting some jumbo bucks. That's not the winning lottery ticket, but you got something that you're cashing at the door. So I think that would be huge. Dylan Radins, he's played just about every position besides center. If Dylan Radins can say, hey, I can play right tackle, then I'm not saying you're adjusting your needs at the top of the draft, but going into the offseason with Jalen Duncan and Dylan Radins as 2 young tackle ideas that you can feel confident in, that's a luxury. And I think that's my X factor today. Brian Burns is good off the edge for the Panthers.
Oh, yeah.
So that's my X factor is Jalen Duncan. How does he hold up in his first start?
And all these Titans fans who want Marvin Harrison or a playmaker in the 1st round, the best thing that could happen today is Jalen Duncan balls out at left tackle and Will Levis doesn't see any pressure from his blind side. I love that X factor. And there are people in the chat that agree with you. Jonathan on Facebook believes it's Duncan. Can he protect Levis? Malachi also says Duncan. Nuclear says it's Levis. Jabu says Henry. Jody is believing it's Levis. Nick says it's O-line, as it always is. It's hard to execute with an offensive line that caves in on your quarterback. Titans fans know all about that. Richie says play Caleb Farley. Timothy says Big Jeff. O-line from Kevin. O-line's the popular answer right now.
Yeah.
Roberto says let Levis throw the ball 20-plus yards. We've seen him thrive in deep ball scenarios. Ruben says Henry. Timothy, our O-line. Tippy says D-Hop. Ryan Stonehouse in a field position game, says Luis. If we're playing a field position game, it's hard to take anybody over Ryan Stonehouse.
Look,
you feel good at that position at the very least.
Brian Johnson on Facebook says, at this point, I don't care who plays. Season is lost anyway. That's what I'm saying. Like, this is audition mode. It's what can you find that you can rely on next year, and how many games are left? 7? It's 7 games left of auditions. You can get some good data, good film, good experience. Like, how much could Jalen Duncan and Will Levis and Tajay Spears and Colton Dowell and Josh Wiley, how much can they grow collectively over the next 7 games to say, hey, this rookie draft class is legitimate enough to build on going into the offseason where you can go spend in free agency where you couldn't afford to do that this past year?
Yeah, I mean, how nice would that be if the Titans just found a late round draft pick in Jalen Duncan that comes through? Nate Davis was taken in the 3rd round. That's earlier than Duncan was. But if the Titans can come away with a Trey Smith-like draft pick, we saw the Chiefs hit on Trey Smith in the 6th not too long ago. If they can find an answer over there, man, this offensive line, you start to feel a little bit better about it. Still have a lot of work to do, obviously. But that just helps Will Levis develop. If Will Levis has time to make decisions, time to go through his reads, time to pick apart this Panthers defense, which is very pick-apartable, which is not a word.
I think it's pick-apartable.
It should be a word. Then, I mean, the Titans' offense could take another leap forward. There's a low total today. The weather's not great.
No.
I want to see Will Levis in this scenario. Can he step up, throw for 250+, throw for a couple of touchdowns? not make any big mistakes. I want to see what Will Levis can do today. I am a little worried about that ankle injury that he kind of picked up last week. Is his mobility going to be there?
Yeah.
We'll see.
No, that's something good to watch as well. A to Z Sports here live on our Titan Game Day Live pregame show presented by our friends at X Golf Nashville. We are on the rooftop of Acme Feed and Seed. Thanks out to Spirited Hive and Ranch Water's game day specials for the home games. The doors are shut today here at the rooftop at Acme because we might get some rain, but still a great place to watch the game. We'll be live for halftime and postgame as well. Jack, we have a chance at bingo. A couple different ways we have a chance at bingo. So let's talk about this bingo board we have coming on. But first, the Minton Gaming Hall is where you can go beyond just our Titan bingo board. You can go up to the Minton Gaming Hall, just 35 minutes north of where we are in downtown Nashville right now. You can stop by the center bar. They watch all the games on the big screens. The best time of year for the Minton Gaming Hall, Jack, bowl season.
Oh, yeah.
Bowl season in Mint Gaming Hall. Watch all the games on their center bar and also go play their thousands of games and thousands of chances to win right there. I just talked about Jalen Duncan being some jumbo bucks you find on the sidewalk. That would be a great way to do it. The Mint Gaming Hall, just 35 minutes north of downtown Nashville in Kentucky. Jack, here is the bingo board today. I'll let you kind of glance at that a little bit. We have legitimate chances to hit some bingos, right? I think with Bryce Young's ability to throw a pick six, defensive touchdown is a real factor today. Like, you don't really predict defensive touchdowns in pregame shows, but that's actually an opportunity. NWI going over 100 yards. He's done it a couple times in his career. Usually it involves a trick play, which Tim Kelly's not afraid to do. And then can the Titans score 30 points? Which way is the easiest for the Titans to hit bingo today? There's also Derrick Henry for 150 and a wide receiver going for 150 as well. What if D-Hop and Derrick Henry have huge days and we go diagonal that way? There's bingo to be had today. Which is the most likely way we get bingo today against this Panthers team?
It's a good question. Kyle Phillips has been really involved in the offense ever since Will Levis took over.
Yeah.
Another thing to keep an eye out for today, I mentioned the guys that the Panthers are missing in their secondary, but even with a healthy defense, this Panthers team is allowing 130 yards rushing to opponents throughout this season. Derrick Henry is capable of destroying defenses like this. I think today with the weather and, helping set up the pass, I think Derrick Henry gets 20 carries. I think he's got a shot at 150 yards. An NWI 100-yard game would be great. It's special teams touchdown. I don't know if it would come in the return game, but maybe you get your hands on a punt or a field goal attempt and take it to the crib. I think that Derrick Henry and Kyle Phillips are the two guys I'm looking for today in terms of the bingo board.
All right, so I had a conversation this past week with an NFL draft guy, and I was talking about, this game, Will Levis and Bryce Young, how they were the number one overall pick. Bryce Young was basically, everybody thought that that's where the Panthers should go for the most part. Will Levis was probably the most polarizing quarterback of any of these quarterbacks that came out this past year. Bryce Young's kryptonite is his height. I'm joking when I make the thumbnail of this and Bryce Young is underneath Will Levis' shoulders. I'm joking, but not really. Because Bryce Young, his kryptonite is his height or lack of it, because he has to stand on his toes in a pocket sometimes. If you don't create lanes where he can see with your offensive line blocking scheme and your route concepts, he has to stand on his toes. Jack, I don't know the last time you played quarterback out in the backyard, maybe it was Thanksgiving. You don't throw from your toes. You throw from your feet, like the whole foot. And so when you're on your toes and you see the throw you want to make, you have to reset your feet, then make the throw. That's time. That's why, look at all the pick sixes, out routes, jumping them, going. That's where the Titans can eat today. Yeah. So I think the defensive touchdown is a big-time player.
It's absolutely in play today. And, people in the chat are a little pessimistic about the Titans secondary for good reason, right? They've laid eggs multiple times this season. But I'll tell you this about Bryce Young. He hasn't really lit anybody up this year. He hasn't even thrown for 250 yards in a game yet. So hopefully that doesn't happen today, right? I'm knocking on wood as I say this. But the Titans defense will have opportunities for takeaways. And hopefully they can create a few more with these tip passes at the line we've been talking about. I think that's going to be something to watch throughout the day. So, yeah, I absolutely agree with you. I think this is an opportunity for the secondary to jump on a football and take it to the house. So we'll see if the Titans are able to not only win the turnover department, but cash those turnovers in for points, which is a totally different conversation, which they also have struggled in doing this season.
Yeah, and Sam Phelan, our Titans reporter, who's over there at Nissan Stadium today, he said, I just walked next to Bryce. He is so tiny. So that is some insight from Sam Phelan at Nissan Stadium. That's why we pay Sam to be at Nissan Stadium, just to tell us that Bryce Young is tiny. So I do think that's interesting to see what the bingo. So what's your official bingo prediction here? Do you think it's going to happen? I think we get it. I think we're going to hit bingo. I think it's a 30-point game. I think the rain's going to hold off. The Panthers' defense is bad. Plus, the Titans' defense can create some opportunities. Like you said, your X factor was winning the turnover battle. So I think this is going to happen today.
Yeah, I think there's a good chance. I just really think that because I wish that D-Hop 150 was in the NWI spot, because without both their top corners, I expect D-Hop to
D-Hop can go for 150, and that's a big square we could get to here. On Devin says, I'm here. Where's the paycheck? I don't know. Where you're here? I don't see it, Devin. Maybe you are here. All right. Let's go ahead and get to our official predictions here on the show, as kickoff is just a few minutes away, live here from Acme Feed and Seed Rooftop. Thanks again to Spirited Hive and Ranch Water. They are our great friends and partners here throughout this Titans home game season at Acme, and game day specials for Ranch Water and Spirited Hive with their drinks here at Acme. So prediction time presented by BetMGM. Use our bonus code ATOZ Sports. That's ATOZ Sports. And you get up to $1,500 off or back in bonus bets if your first bet misses. So the prediction time today, Jack, we want your predictions in the chat. The Titans are 3.5-point favorites. I know you picked the Titans to win today on our social media and to cover the 3.5. So I'll send you to the chat or your predictions. What's happening? Predictions. We want score predictions, winners and losers. 3 minutes away from kickoff.
Austin, I'll preface it by saying this. This is the most optimistic chat we've had when it comes to prediction time that I can remember this season. Let's start it off with Titans Kyle on YouTube. He thinks it's a Titans win 24-13. Sharm Sports says Titans 27-20. Ethan 24-17. Let's see. Brian Badillo still not sold. Panthers by 2 scores. What a disaster that would be. Kenneth says 31-20 Titans. Jody 2017 Titans. Panthers 20-12 from Stephen King. Travis says 21-17 Titans. Xavier says Titans 21-17. Kevin, Titans 27-16. Guy Man, 6-3 field goal battle today.
No.
From Guy
please.
Man. Realistically, Titans win 27-10 from Nuclear. 30-point game from Teddy. Titans from Edward. Jody says they don't cover. Roberto, 31-10 Panthers. Austin, I'm going to give you 27-13. Titans beat the Panthers and cover in one of their most complete wins this season.
But no bingo. No 30 points.
No bingo that way. There's other bingo
You
squares
said
that I believe
27 what?
27-13 Titans win.
Jack, we're hitting bingo today, and that means people are winning something from the Mint Gaming Hall. 31-17 Titans win. So we both have the Titans by 2 touchdowns. I'm going 31-17 Titans win today. I predicted it to happen in Tampa, and it didn't go very well, just like you predicted Derrick Henry have a big day in Jacksonville, and that didn't go very well. But the Titans are back at home. They're 3-0 when we were at Acme. I think it's going to be 4-0 today. But hey, that's it for us. I appreciate everybody for being here. We'll be back for halftime. Thanks again to all of our great partners live on the rooftop at Acme Feed and Seed, Spirited Hive, and Ranch Water specials at home games. And also, shout out to all of our great friends, Adventure Science Center, Jarrett Fire, Chim Chimney, BetMGM, Mint Gaming Hall, the law offices of Amanda J. Gentry. This has been the Golf Nashville pregame show. We'll see you at halftime. Enjoy the first